From childhood's hour I have not been. As others were, I have not seen. As others saw, I could not bring my passions from a common spring. From the same source I have not taken. My sorrow I could not awaken. My heart to joy at the same tone. And all I loved alone. Then in my childhood, in the dawn of a most stormy life was drawn from every depth of good and ill, the mystery which binds me still. From the torrent or the fountain, from the red cliff of the mountain, from the sun that round me rolled in its autumn tint of gold, from the lightning in the sky as it passed me flying by, from the thunder and the storm and the cloud that took the form, when the rest of heaven was blue, of a demon in my view.
Hello, I'm Ash.
And I'm Lynn.
And this is Only If You Can Keep Up.
Spooky edition. Here we go.
Yeah, still October, still spooky. We're doing our tradition of my backyard. Hi, I'm Ash. We've got animals, and they are going to make noises between guineas and ducks and dogs and goats, and chickens are in bed, so we won't hear them. But yeah. I'm just saying, we're going to hear some noises. So
lots of birds, but unfortunately no ravens.
Oh, we were just talking about that. So if you didn't know who that amazing poem is by,
it was not me, Lynn. It was not.
No, but you read it beautifully, by the way.
Good
job.
Thank you.
Our episode is going to be about Edgar Allan Poe.
My favorite. I love him.
I did not know much about him. I know who poems, I know he had like a crazy freaking life, but like I did not know in detail the things I know now.
A very short but crazy life, yeah.
Right.
And he's, everyone's heard of him, even if you're not into poetry and all that. Like, you've heard of Edgar Allan Poe. You know he's spooky.
Especially if you're, like, a spooky person, or, honestly, if you've ever watched Wednesday.
Yeah.
Because, like, the whole school is based on Edgar Allan Poe.
Nevermore and that.
Literally. Yep. So, and if you didn't know that, now you do. Fun fact. Yeah. There's your first fun fact.
Yeah. He's known for poems, short stories, mostly. He has that...
See, I told you. Dogs.
So he has that dark, mysterious, macabre vibe, right? It's like everything he wrote was some kind of like doom and gloomy. Not everything. He had some...
I feel like the majority, though. Yeah. 100%. Doom and gloom. Yeah.
A lot of his stuff was doom and gloom. It had that very tortured soul type of vibe to it. He did have some like more, comedies, satire type things too, but most of the stuff that we've heard, The Raven, things like that, are darker stuff.
Okay, so we are going to jump in. We're going to start from the very beginning. Very, like the birth of him.
Once upon a midnight dreary, there was a man named Edgar Allan Poe.
That was not his name when he was born. Did you know that?
It was not.
It was Edgar Poe. There was no Allan.
No Allan?
Nope. Okay, he was born January 19th, 1809, so just a few years ago. Okay.
Just a few.
Just a few. In Boston, Massachusetts.
Boston. That was more Michigan, sorry. In Boston, maybe. No, I don't know. Forget that.
Oh, wait, hold on. Cue the ducks. Cue all the animals at the exact same time. So, it's
party time.
I'm going to start right with this real quick. If they hear my voice, if I get loud enough, they are all going to go crazy and start honking and cawing. And
they're going to hear your voice a lot tonight. Sorry about that.
So, yeah, anyway. Okay, so he was born January 19th, 1809 in Boston. Both of his parents were actors. Yeah. Did you know that? I did not know that. David Poe Jr. and Eliza Arnold Hopkins Poe. That is a name to go with.
Okay?
Right. He had an older brother named William and a little sister named Rosalie. David abandoned his family when Edgar was only 1. He dipped the fuck out, said, nope, I'm done. I want nothing to do. He literally just left in the middle of the night and never came back.
Yeah, he went for milk,
I was about to say, those fathers that go for milk and never come back?
Daddy,
he was one of them.
Where are you?
But I don't know about the milk. Maybe he went for a beer. Yeah. Not a milk. Okay. At this time, in 1809 or 1810, because he's a year old, actors were not looked at as these glamorous, amazing celebrities that have so much talent and all of that stuff. They were more looked at as sin, drinking,
it was
scandal,
promiscuous,
literally the scandalous, all of that stuff. That's the words that they would use to describe, oh my God, you're an actor. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was not a good thing
your act together
to become an actor. But his mother, she was actually extremely talented. Like, all the things she did, all the plays she put on, all the shows she was in, everything, everybody was just in awe with how well she sang and how beautifully she spoke and all of those things. He absolutely loved his mother. Obviously, he was one. Everyone pretty much loves their mom at one.
You gotta be a really shit mom for your kid to not like you at that age.
She could do everything, too. She could sing, she could dance, she could perform, she could do it all. Like, she was like jack of all trades situation. All of the Poe children were always with her backstage. So all 3 of them were with her constantly. So, like, everyone knew who they were. They were fun little kids, you know, whatever. But in 1811, okay, Eliza got tuberculosis.
That seemed to be a very common thing back then.
She actually acted up until she could not walk. So she continued working.
Wow.
I don't know how, because what I know about tuberculosis obviously wasn't alive in that time. Like, if you got it, they, like, put you in a cage. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like you were allowed to walk around free.
And you become bedridden pretty fast. And you would
so
think
I don't know if she just didn't tell people.
Maybe.
Because they, like, confined you if you had it, because they thought it was so contagious, which I think it kind of was, you know. She died in December at 24 years old. Edgar was only 2 years old.
And what year did she...
1811. Yeah, she died in 1811. He was 2 years old.
He was little. So he probably didn't have a lot of memory of her.
He did have memories of her, though. A lot of his poems are based on his mother.
Yeah.
Like, some of them, like his biological mother, because he does have another mother here in a minute. Not the other mother like Coraline, but another mother.
Yeah.
After her death, all 3 of the children were split up. They were not stayed together.
Yeah. And that happened a lot back then,
He did not see his brother and sister, I think. I don't know if it was at all or for years and years and years. And they both died very, very young. And I think he got word they died, even though he didn't know them. But Edgar went to live with the Allan family. Getting where that's coming from now?
That's where the Allan comes in.
John and Francis Allan. He actually took the Allan surname, and this is where Edgar Allan Poe came from.
Star is born.
Right. John was a wealthy Scottish tobacco merchant. He actually had money. So he came from no money. He came from poorness, and he kind of, throughout his life...
Starving actress.
He portrayed himself as poor, even though he was raised wealthy.
Yeah.
Like, even though technically at 2 years old you don't know anything about poor or wealthy, he always thought of himself as a poor person, even though he was very wealthy, like very wealthy. John was very strict. He disapproved of Edgar, period.
Yeah.
Like, he loved him, I think, but he wanted him to become a businessman. He wanted him to grow up in the world and take over the business and do all of this stuff. And Edgar wanted nothing to do with that. He wanted to write poetry. He wanted to be the weirdo in the corner, not what John wanted him to become.
Just like on Dead Poets Society.
I never saw that. Their relationship was extremely rocky. It was never good. It was always... I don't even understand why they adopted him. I'm assuming it was because... Actually, he was never officially adopted.
Really?
He was just placed in their home.
I had always read it was just like a foster situation.
It was, but it ended up being the rest of his life.
I didn't realize they never actually adopted him.
They never legally adopted him, no.
The birds are like, adopt me!
I don't know why they did that. Frances was the complete opposite. She loved Edgar, and Edgar loved her. I mean, like... a normal mother-father-son, or not mother-father, mother-son relationship. They loved each other. She doted on him. She encouraged his weirdness. She encouraged his art. She encouraged his everything. She supported the artistic ability. She wanted him to go to an artistic school. You know what I mean? She was all for it, and John was like, abso-fucking-lutely not Poe. Okay.
Strict daddy.
He actually grew up between Virginia and England. They would kind of go back and forth. They had a house in both places. Once again, we're rich. You know what I mean? He attended grammar school in Scotland and then later boarding school in Chelsea. So he was a very educated young lad, you know? He was an excellent student everywhere he went. Didn't matter what the school, what the situation was. And of course, he excelled in language and literature. Favorite subjects, did amazing in flying colors. When he was 11, they returned to Virginia. He grew up into this handsome, athletic teenager. He was also very, very, very athletic. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yes. At this time, he also kind of started to become rebellious. He was kind of like... He knew he was athletic. He was on several teams. He competed in boxing, running, and other various sports. And he was like always surpass the best runner. He would compete against people 3, 4, 5 grades ahead of him and still beat them.
Wow.
And it kind of went to his head. He got cocky. I got this. I'm better than you. Like, he slowly became resentful towards sports because he's like, I'm so good at everything. I can't. You know, like, a dick. He was only 15. Yeah. I mean, he was super young, too. And at 15 is when he actually began writing, like, full poems. Like, he wrote before, like, you know, short stories, that kind of stuff, just in his own time. But then he actually started forming poems, and he absolutely fucking loved it. John Allan, his foster adopted father, whichever, found out about the poems and flipped the fuck out. I guess he found them and was pissed. Could
you imagine being angry because your child's writing
artistic?
Like,
yeah. He wanted him to be the businessman. So finding this, he's like, no, this is weird. You can't write about this stuff. And obviously it wasn't as dark and dank as it became.
Yeah. But
still, like, why are you writing words like this when you should be following my footprints? Like, you should be smart. Yeah. So, of course, Edgar lashed out. He began ignoring John's commands, quit doing the chores, quit helping him out at his place of work. Then he started spending all his money recklessly. He's like, I have your money. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want with it.
This is one way I can get you.
Exactly. He just started completely defying John in all ways. Of course, John fucking hated this. I did not find any accounts of, like, abuse other than, like, yelling and mental, I guess.
And I'm sure back then, like, as a parent, it was probably his way of, I want him to have the best. If I'm strict and I tell him, you know, try to lead him down this path.
Exactly. So Poe, he actually was quoted saying he thought of himself as a romantic outsider. So a lot of his poems he wrote when he was younger were, like, more about romance, which, I mean, they are still about romance, but it's more of
he definitely
dead romance versus
deep feelings.
He felt like he didn't belong at all. He was wealthy because of his foster family, but he knew he came from poverty, so he felt torn. Like, he did not know where
he didn't belong.
There was no middle, even though, like, he had no recollection of being a 2-year-old poverty child. He knew who his family was. He knew he didn't have money. He knew his mother was an actress, so he didn't know where he belonged. He never felt like he fucking fit. At 17, he enrolled at the University of Virginia to study classical languages. He was brilliant, of course, excelled in all of this. John Allan, the foster father, would only send him a fraction of what he needed to pay his tuition. This rich-ass motherfucker's like, you went to study literature? I'm not helping you, bitch. Like, fuck you.
You only get my money if you do what I want you to do. Yeah.
So, since John did not help pay, he decided to turn to gambling to help cover his cost of the expenses that John did not cover, okay? This is when the drinking began. Like, Poe was an addict. We all kind of know that. If you know anything about Poe, he was an addict in some form. This is where the drinking began, just to cope, because he went to college for something he loved, but he was struggling financially to keep up, so he had to gamble, and he was gambling away all his money, because it then became an addiction too. Yeah. Because if you start gambling, you don't finish gambling. Right. Like, you always want to fucking gamble. You know what I mean? He very, very quickly spiraled into debt, dropped out within a year of going to school, and then he returned home. He was ashamed as fuck. John Allan was completely furious with him, and he refused to help him pay any of his past tuition or bills or anything. He would not help him get out of debt at all. So before he left for college, he was quite young, but he fell in love secretly with a woman. This was the first love he ever had. Okay. Her name was Sarah Royster. He sent her letters while he was away at college, and before he left, he had promised that they would get married after he came back and, like, got his degree and everything, because he just knew he was going to be a writer, a poet, something along those lines. He knew he was going to do something great with his life, so he wanted to bring her along with this. So he tried to write her all these letters while he was away in college, and she never replied. She never said a word, never heard from her, anything like that. Once he got home, he seeked her out, like, where the fuck are you at, my Sarah girl? And he found out from one of his old friends that she had actually married somebody else. Oh. And that apparently, this friend was also a friend of Sarah's husband now, that no letters were ever, she never got a letter, not one of them. And he thought that it was because Sarah's father was friends with John and did not want Edgar as her, daughter's husband. So that never happened. That was a big blow too. The drinking continued. It devastated him completely once he found this out. So like I said, the drinking continued. We're still drinking. The gambling kind of slowed down a little bit, but it was still there. He still kind of gambled in the background for all of this. So at 18, he left and returned to Boston, where he was born, on his own. He actually self-published his first book, A Poetry of Tamerlane. Is that how you say it? I'm assuming Tamerlane?
I think so.
And other poems. Only 50 copies were printed back then. Nobody bought them. Nobody cared. You know what I mean? It wasn't a big thing. It was his first thing. They were good poems. He gambled to get enough money to get the book published. He only had enough money to publish 50 of the books. Nobody bought them at all.
Didn't get much attention at all.
Now, a surviving copy of this book, there's only 22 in rotation, apparently.
Oh, really?
Yes. They are worth millions of dollars.
You're kidding.
To get one right now. Yes.
Oh, wow.
And they are very tethered and old and weathered. Yeah. They've been rebound and all of that because this is the 1800s. Yeah. You know what I mean? And they've been through some shit.
Oh, wow.
You know? So since only 50 copies were printed and published, and he didn't make any money off of him, nobody wanted to fucking buy him because he was a nobody. He was literally a nobody. Yeah. He completely thought he failed as a poet. He was done. He went on yet another drinking binge right here. But then he decided to list in the army, and he was only 18 years old, but he said he was 22 so that he could go. And, back in that day, they didn't fucking check. We didn't have driver's license, or they might have had some form of ID, but I'm pretty sure it's probably very easy, like a piece of paper. Like it was very easily altered. He served at Fort Independence, and he did very, very well. Yeah. He actually stopped drinking while he was there. For a while. He completely stopped drinking. He thrived there. He had friends there. He rose to the rank of a sergeant major of artillery. Yeah. Wow. Sergeant major of artillery. Yeah. That's hard to say. Very quickly. Like very, very quickly.
I'd also read that he enlisted under a different name, like Edgar Perry. Perry.
Yeah, he did. It was not his.
Yeah, they obviously didn't check much at all.
I don't know why he would go under a different name. Yeah, I feel like he had more of a I suck mentality. Yeah. And because I feel like I suck, people didn't know who he was.
Maybe he needed a different identity.
Maybe, something like that. So while serving, he actually published his second collection of poems. This one actually began to get a little bit of traction. People started buying them and were interested in them and thought they were pretty good. When he was still serving, he was 20 years old at this point. His foster mother got very sick. I could not find what she got sick with. She just got very ill, very fast. He actually rushed home to see her, but he arrived literally just in time for her to die.
Oh.
This absolutely devastated him. He was not okay. Started drinking again. Did not go back to Fort Independence. Nope, he did not. He ended up going to the U.S. Military Academy at West Point.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you just don't go back. Once again, this is way back then, so it's not like anything we know today.
Yeah.
But so he went to West Point. He did just as well here. Did awesome. Ranked up super duper fast. Then he became bored of the military life. He's like, I've done it. Just kind of like the sports when he was a kid. He's done it. He's accomplished it. He's done.
He literally could master anything he tried, and then he'd get bored of it. Yeah.
He started getting cocky with this too. He deliberately got himself court-martialed for gross neglect of duty, and he was dismissed.
He would stop attending classes. He wouldn't go to church because that was a big thing there.
Yes.
And just got himself expelled.
They're just literally like, you're done. Please leave. But before he left, his fellow cadets helped him finance his third poetry book called Poems by Edgar Allan Poe. So they did help him out. So he did have friends there that decided to help him with publishing. I'm sure it was a big pitch, man, my second book's doing okay. Help me out, I'll help you out situation. But, yeah.
Yeah, and I know he probably borrowed money from a lot of them, too.
Oh, I'm sure.
When he left there, he was starting to, again, struggle. He was jumping around. He ended up back in, New York. But this is when he's really getting to his artist. I'm an artist now. I'm officially, this is my life.
Yes.
But
no more military. We're an artist.
Yeah, but bouncing around all over the place, constant money struggles, because at this point he has nothing. And the little bit he's making off the things he's writing, it's not enough to get by.
And I'm pretty sure he used a lot of it to drink.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And probably gambled some of it away.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's got his gambling issues, his drinking, and then, you know, he did odd jobs. Like, he would do little, like, I know later on he would do, like, public lectures and editorial jobs. So I'm wondering if he started just finding little things here and there, like, oh, I can do that.
Just
anything
to
do
money.
with,
Right.
But I know he was known to have a lot of loans from his friends, and I don't know that he paid them all back. I know
Probably
he created a lot of enemies, but
very quickly.
Yeah. So I think he did. Eventually, he ended up with his aunt. He moved in with his aunt.
Yes.
And but he was probably early 20s by this point, and that's where he met his cousin Virginia Clem, and he was 26, and they married. They got married. She was 13.
She was 13. I don't think you didn't say that yet. Yeah, she was 13.
His little cousin, Virginia Clem, was 13 years old.
And they decided to get married.
Yeah. So everything I've ever seen on this, because I've always thought, oh, God, that's so weird. But
I don't feel like there is a but. Like, that's fucking weird.
They said, everything I've read says it's more of like an affectionate sibling-like connection. That it was more of like a close companionship, like they relied on each other, they cared about each other, they both just needed someone.
Get married,
that it wasn't
then?
Really romantic. Yeah, why get married?
I guess back then you probably had to get married if you lived with somebody.
Maybe.
But
because they never had kids. It wasn't like they were, it almost sounded like they just wanted to spend their lives together because they didn't have anyone else, maybe? I don't know.
It's a weird situation.
And I know that was more common back then for people to marry cousins, but like it's just she was so young.
Yeah.
It'd be one thing if she was...
She was so young and he was so old. I mean, he was only 26, but like maybe I could get around it if he was 17 or 18.
Yeah.
At least they're closer in age. Like,
and I know back then younger girls, teenagers had more adult duties. They were more mature. They were looked at different than like our 13-year-olds now, but my 13-year-old's pretty mature, but like I would I never want her to marry a 26-year-old.
Right.
But when you look at as adults, a 13-year gap, that happens all the time. So I don't know. It is weird to think about. It's not accepted in this day and age.
I agree. That was a gunshot. It's fine. We ignore it. Keep going.
But back then, I'm sure it was more common and whatever. We know he wasn't all right in the head, so whatever. So he was with his wife most of his life. Mind you, he did not have a very long life, but she got really, really sick with tuberculosis. She ended up dying in 1847 at the age of 24. So at this point, he would have been 37, I assume. So most of his adult life he spent with her. So they did have quite a long marriage together. And she was sick for a long time. It wasn't like an instant thing. So he was, by her side all the time, watched her suffer, watched her cough up blood, watched her, just in misery this whole time and stuck by her side. So she died 1847. Some of the things I had seen, like a lot of his stuff that he writes about, of course, is about Virginia. Like in The Raven, Lenore, that's all about. I guess she sang, and she would sing to him even while she was really sick. She would still sing to him.
Oh
so
it
was like a romantic,
sadly precious.
Yeah, like a mix of death and gloom, but also with love and compassion. Like it's just such a sad twist.
Right.
Like I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, he's already got the issues with, he can't get along with anyone for too long. He just has these like explosive relationships with everything, except for Virginia, obviously. But he's searching for work. He's jumping around. Every job he gets, he's arguing with his employers. I think a lot of his problem was he knew he was so smart, and it was like his ego was so big that he just thought he was better than others.
Right. I think he did that throughout his entire life.
Yeah.
He did that with sports when he was a kid, then he did it in the military, and then he did it, it started,
so the money issues on top of not getting along with everyone. He's broke. Can't hold down a job. He's going from place to place. And then he's not only making like career enemies, but with his writing, he was also like a big critic. So like all those years, he was a literary critic, and he was like, they'd say he's like sharp-tongued and, you know,
he was an asshole.
Yeah.
Just say it. Like,
some people thought he was funny and very
right.
clever, but he could be very fucking mean at the same time. He would tear apart, like, other authors and, you know, just like critique them to where they'd hate him. And he made so many enemies, but he actually had like a reputation as a ruthless reviewer, I guess, or a critic.
Yeah.
He nicknamed, so they started calling him the Tomahawk Man.
Okay.
So that became like his critic nickname. Yeah. But yeah, he would just rip apart these other, it was like, I guess, savage, because they would all get angry. He'd make all these. So yeah, he had that reputation. And people didn't trust him. They couldn't get along with him. So he's just a tough guy to be around. But at the same time, he was so clever and so bright. And they said he was funny. He was charismatic. He was full of life.
Yeah.
But then he'd have his big ups and downs, which I'll talk about a little more later.
I'm wondering if he's bipolar.
Yes, that's what I always thought too.
Yeah, obviously we don't have diagnosis in the 1800s.
My husband, I've said before in the past, my husband has bipolar, and a lot of the things they talk about are so very similar. He's not as extreme, thank goodness, but back then they didn't have the help they have now. I
just want to say, it is literally 8 o'clock at night. It is dark as shit outside, and somebody's shooting guns. I don't know who it is. It's fine. We live in the country. We hear a lot of gun shooting because... Yeah. Oh no, all the dogs are gone.
So if you hear it in the background,
it's very normal around here. So don't think it's some crazy thing happening.
Hunting season coming up.
Literally, hunting season.
Everybody's okay. That's all I want to say.
Youth season is next week. And so, like, my husband and son have been shooting almost every night, just trying to get the gun sighted in and everything to hunt deer. Yeah. So just know that it is okay if you hear a gunshot. It is normal for where we live. They're just practicing, I promise. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry I interrupted you, but I wanted to say that because they just keep shooting. I'm honestly wondering if it's not my son over at my mom's house shooting because they live like 2 houses down.
This whole time it was him.
Yeah, it could be. Like, they've got a big like outside light so you can see and everything. So it could have. It's okay. I promise. It's fine.
So he had a lot of like projects. He was always working on different things. He even tried to get a magazine going. For years he had a magazine he was trying to get going, but he never could quite get it running. But
do you know what the magazine was about? So curious.
I'm not sure.
Was it like weird poetry or was it
I'm not sure.
Okay,
it was some kind of literary thing, but I'll have to look. I'd have to look that up. But I just know it never took off.
You might not even be able to find it. I was just curious.
They did have a name for it. He had a name in mind, but he never actually got it going. Okay. So I can't remember what it was, but he had, you know, and during all this time, all this heartbreak, all this chaos in his life, he's still writing. So 1838 he published his only novel. Mind you, he's always been a writer. But it's poetry and short stories. He had one novel in 1838.
I didn't know he had a novel. I thought it was all poetry.
Yep. Okay. One novel, The Narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym. And I've never read this. I don't know anything about it. I knew that he wrote a book at some point, but I didn't know.
Okay.
But yeah, poems were obviously his thing, short stories, you know. But he basically invented detective fiction. Like before Sherlock Holmes, because 1841 he wrote The Murders in the Rue Morgue, and that was like when detective fiction became, like, he was the original.
So was he doing this in poem form, or was this the novel?
Probably short stories.
Okay, I forgot about short stories.
Short stories, poems. They kind of all blend together in my, you know,
yeah.
But yeah, he was. That was 1841. 1843, he wrote The Telltale Heart, which was huge. Like, that is such a dark, like, fucked up story. Like, my 8th grader said they read it in class, and I was like, what?
Oh, wow.
I think that's awesome because I love Poe.
Yeah,
and I love her teacher. I think it's awesome that they did that. But I was like, wow, how'd you handle that? And she's like, it was cool, Mom. I'm like, okay, good deal. But I'm like, that's freaking awesome because, I don't know, you don't hear a lot of people reading that kind of stuff anymore. So I thought, I'm like, what do the kids think of it?
You honestly don't hear of people reading Edgar Allan Poe anymore. Like, I think I did in high school for, like, Lit 3 or something. You know what I mean?
I don't even remember.
Yeah.
That's so bad.
It's not something that's
And I was in English. Like, I loved my English. I took all the college advanced courses,
so
and
that's cool
that was
that
my
8th
focus.
Grade did it. Yeah, that's super cool.
So I thought it wasn't like, I don't think part of their curriculum. I think it was something the teacher, because she's so cool. She adds in extra stuff and teaches them about stuff they don't usually hear. So if you're listening, Miss T, you're awesome. So The Telltale Heart, published in 1843. Like I said, it's a very dark, fucked up story. Pretty much it's just the narrator, he's insisting he's sane, but he's describing how he murdered this old man because he had a, quote, vulture eye. Okay, so he dismembers the body, hides it under the floorboards. The narrator's like driven to confess the sound, the old man's beating heart. He can hear it through the wall, and he believes the police can hear it. It's like a whole thing. Okay, it's worth reading. It's really fucking dark, but there is a movie, I want to say it has Christian Bale, and I think it's called The Pale Blue Eye, and it's based on Edgar Allan Poe. That's worth watching too. Like, it's kind of about Edgar Allan Poe, but it's really cool. Anyway, so yeah, his fucked upness just, super fucked up. And then he came to, this comes like 1845 is when he wrote The Raven. And y'all know The Raven, the once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary.
The gunshots in the background made it even better, just so you know.
Weak and weary from the gunshots in my ears. But it's pretty much just about a grieving lover who's visited by a mysterious raven. Tap, tap, tap on the window, and the nevermore, nevermore. Everybody's probably heard parts of The Raven. Yeah. It's it's a classic. It's awesome. But I am obsessed with the Raven stuff. I love ravens in general and crows and all of it.
Do you love ravens because of Poe, or do you love ravens because of ravens?
Both.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, both. Because I love crows. I love magpies. I love all the corvid birds. You're all special to me. Okay? I'm a bird nerd. Anyway, so, the Raven got really, really big, right? But as popular as it was, as well known as it was, he only received $9 for it total. $9.
Oh.
Yeah. But it shows how, unstable and underpaid his career was. Despite his fame, everyone knew him.
So when he wrote it, it was popular at that time that he wrote it? Okay.
They loved it. He was very well known. It was a very big story. But $9 was all. Which back then, I don't know, maybe what it would be, the currency now. But still, $9 off of something that big, But then the whole Nevermore and Lenore. By the way, I have a new puppy and her name is Lenore, okay? And
these people got to think we're fucking crazy with the amount of new animals we get.
Well, okay, I've had the puppy for a few months.
I don't have anything new. Surprise. Okay, anyway, sorry.
But I named her Lenore after the Raven poem. But Lenore is pretty much about his wife, Virginia, I believe. It's kind of a mix of, the despair over the loss of his love and, it's just themed on grief, madness, and just death in general. But it's good. It is. It's worth it. So, of course, we have the death of his wife, all the tragic, the sadness. He's writing all these horribly just miserable things. But he does find love again, okay? He does pursue more relationships. Mind you, his wife died only 3 years before he did, so these were probably pretty quick relationships, but...
They were one and done.
He did have a well-known engagement, I guess. It was high, what do you call it? People knew about it. It was kind of a big deal.
Right.
To Sarah Helen Whitman, another Sarah, okay? She was a poet and a spiritualist, and then they broke it off, and he rekindled his relationship with his teenage sweetheart. The other Sarah.
The first Sarah?
Yes, Sarah Royster.
Yeah.
So they were together just shortly before his death. So I don't know if they were actually together when he died.
I don't think so.
But
from what I found, I don't think so. I wasn't
that was
there,
his
so
first
he could
love,
have been
so
totally.
If something who knows?
Right. Okay, so before we go into his actual death, because he did live a very short life, very short life, we're going to talk about some of the addictions he had, go back a little bit. Of course, the drinking and the gambling, they began during the army years. The drinking did, and then the gambling to pay for the money because John wouldn't pay for it, right?
Yeah.
For a while in his adult life, he used opiums.
I didn't know that.
To, chill himself out.
Yeah.
He also had some kind of a condition that, obviously it's the 1800s, so we don't know. If he would take one drink of alcohol, He would be like belittling, like he would be drunk as fuck.
Yeah.
Like just like with one beer.
He was like hypersensitive to alcohol.
Yes, but he would still drink because I'm sure it made him feel good. It numbed the pain and all of that stuff.
Because people like talked about him as this like belligerent drunk, but I don't even think he drank that much. It was just how he reacted.
Right.
I would like maybe hypoglycemia or like blood sugar thing or something. But
he did go through short periods of sobriety. So when he wrote The Raven, he was sober. Yeah. When he wrote, it's like he would stop drinking to get all of the thoughts out of his head, but then he would pick it right back up. And when he picked it up, it would be like pure destruction.
Yeah.
He would drink so much. He would be passing out, going crazy, starting fights, all of that stuff. But then he would go into these stages of like, the way I saw it described was drama. He would be sad. He would be crying. And it was when he was drunk. It was when he was a drunk. He would like lose his shit. Like think of an emotional male teenager that can't get their shit together. That's like laying in a corner, rocking back and forth. He would do this at the bar. Yeah. Like he just couldn't handle it. And the alcohol would make it worse.
Yeah.
But then he would sober up. He would write a poem, short story, write a book, whatever, and then go right back to drinking.
Yeah.
So as he was writing, he was sober, but then go right back to it. The few friends he did have described him as sober and brilliant or drunk and self-destructive, no in between. Yeah. So like every time they saw him, they did not know which version they would get because it would be day by day. Like it did not matter. Yep. Like literally.
It's like the highs and the lows. He dealt with a lot of depression too. Like they said, when he was down, he would be so
But
down.
in the 1800s, we didn't believe in depression. Like depression was not a thing. Yeah. So like he's just a weirdo who cries a lot. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And I think when he was depressed was probably when he started drinking, and that's when his erratic behavior, and then it all, So it does definitely sound some manic depressive type stuff.
Right. Okay, so we also know he was a fucking weirdo. Right. He was like not a normal human being. We told this normal story of a dude who kind of lived a tragic life. Every woman he loved literally died. But he also was always sad. Like always sad. Like you said, he had like depression. Like he was, even as a child, a sad child, he always dressed in very elegant, dark clothes. Yeah. Like black head to toe, but very professional, very put together. Yeah. He spoke. I mean, he was very smart.
Yeah, they said he was really picky, like, about his appearance and how he came off. Even though he, like, was an unhinged motherfucker sometimes, he wanted to appear to look...
like, put together.
Yeah.
Right. He never felt like he belonged. And he leaned into this outsider identity. He liked that he didn't belong. He like took that and made it his fucking personality. Yeah. Literally. He actually portrayed himself as a, quote, misunderstood genius who was against the world. So like he knew he was smart. He knew he was misunderstood. Yeah. Like he gave himself this persona and he literally lived it every single day. Yeah. He was always very charming and witty. But he had that sharp tongue. He had a lot of fucking enemies. Yeah. Like, a lot of enemies. He had an obsession with death.
Yeah, and being buried alive.
Death, beauty, the fragile woman. Like, all of his poems, not all of them, but the majority of them are about a sad, beautiful woman who is dying or dead. You have literally got to think every single woman in his life, his mother, his foster mother, his wife, his sister, every woman in his life died tragically right in front of him. So like, it's like he leaned into that and made that part of his personality fucking also. Really like it was like the whole shabam.
Yeah, it became a big part of who he was.
It's like he romanticized the idea of being a beautiful dead woman. Yep,
it was a mix of the tragedy with the love at the same time. But that and death itself, he was so... It was almost like
obsession with death.
Obsessed. He was intrigued by it, but also he was obsessed with like the fear of being buried alive. And he mentions that in a lot of his stuff. But that was actually like a common thing in the 19th century. People were afraid of people would actually build safety coffins with bells and breathing tubes and things like that because they were so scared of being buried alive.
Oh, what? That's kind of crazy.
I wonder if like with all tuberculosis and plagues and stuff, if people actually did maybe get buried alive, and maybe that's why.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I really don't know.
But there's a big theme of that in a lot of his stuff.
Right.
And they said he would he was really superstitious too. Like he was like uneasy, like obsessed again with omens, fate. Like he would weave superstitions into his daily thinking. So like his friend said he would be moody or erratic if he had a bad sign or a bad feeling about something. He would almost, like how I have OCD, so something really like I'll get like, it'll really set me off if I can't stop thinking about something. Yeah. So it almost sounds like that's how he was. He was so obsessive over things that if he had a bad feeling, he couldn't stop thinking about it. That was all he could do. And they said he would walk miles just to think. Like if he was worked up or if he had, just something he needed to work out, he would just walk for miles and walk and walk and walk. He'd brainstorm his ideas. He'd try to clear his head, but he would also mutter his lines to himself. Like he'd say things out loud. He was obsessed with like repetition and things sounding a certain way, and he wanted everything to like come out just so. So he would say things, he would read his lines in practice over and over and over again because he thought it needed to come out. When you say his lines,
do you mean his poems?
Yeah, his own poems. He would read his own poems out loud because he thought they needed to say it. Now, I write poems. I'm not Edgar Allan Poe. I write poems for fun, and I do this too.
I'm not Edgar Allan Poe.
I don't
Spoiler alert.
I don't like go all super crazy like that and like walk around saying them out loud, but I will repeat them at least in my head several times to get the repetition and the rhyming and make sure it goes together. I am a newly founded Pee Wee cheer coach, and let me tell you the cheers that go through my head. Same thing.
Just because I don't want to forget the words because ADHD.
It's the same idea.
But I get it. I totally get.
You find yourself walking around saying the cheers out loud or practicing them?
No, never out loud. In my head, and I'll do the hand moves. I'll find myself with my hands in the air, and I'm like, I did not put my hands there. Why are they there? But they are.
It's very similar.
Yeah,
it is. But so he wasn't just obsessed with, he also loved like puzzles and figuring things out, like the whole detective thing,
Yeah.
But he loved coded messages. He would challenge readers to send him like cryptography puzzle type stuff. Like he claimed he could solve anything. So like he loved the challenge. Like send me your stories, he was fascinated with like secret codes and things like that. Oh, that's actually kind of cool.
Like send me your stories. I'll figure them out for you.
He was interactive with his fans.
Right.
So
that's cool.
That's really cool.
So
especially
here's my
for
question: how did he tell people send them to me? Did he put an ad in the local paper? Okay.
I would assume back then that's about the only way they could really.
Did we have paper then?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
1800s.
Yeah, because they were doing papers back.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh
that was a dumb question. Okay.
I'm trying to think how long ago.
No, please don't, because that'll take you too long.
But yeah, definitely probably the papers, and I don't know how else they would have back then. But I love that he'd be like, yeah, send them to me. Could you imagine your favorite writer now, like actually interacting with their fans? And I don't know. But yeah, the rhythm and sound was what really kept, he was like the creepy dark Dr. Seuss of his time, like everything has a rhyme. It has a thing, it goes together.
I don't think I would compare him to Dr. Seuss. I mean,
but with the rhyming and it's like a very, you know what I mean?
But his rhyming is so dark and rhythmatic.
Exactly. Very dark Dr. Seuss.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, he liked to experience it. They said he would recite them dramatically, he would.
I can
really
see him. Well, I can't see him. The only reason I know what this motherfucker looks like is because you have a hoodie on and his little eyeballs are peeking over the table at me constantly.
So
could you imagine some guy? Okay, literally picture this. Close your eyes. If you're one of those people that can picture things, I don't remember what that's called. Me too. But close your eyes. This guy with kind of like the perfect. Okay, Bill Compton. For all my True Blood people out there, literally picture Bill Compton. If you don't know who he is, Google him. Bill Compton walking down the fucking street. Not kidding. Literally looks like Bill Compton.
Give him
in this dark,
a little bit black, messier hair and a little bit of
a mustache.
Maybe a little pale. No, Bill's pretty pale. He's a vampire.
Yeah. So listen. Okay. Full black, beautiful, romantic attire, walking down the street with his hand in the air, pierced together, speaking his words as he's walking down the street, probably drunk as fuck. So
because they said he really did. He always dressed in black.
Right.
He dressed really sharp and neat. He'd wear the tightly buttoned frock coat.
Yep, all the way up.
Like literally a character out of one of his stories.
Yeah.
That's how he looked.
That's how he portrayed himself. He wrote the stories that he put himself in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay.
It was his reality. Also, I am writing with my Edgar Allan Poe. I got it. My Poe. Strong. Edgar Poe. It's a pen. It's an ink pen.
I can't.
It's an ink pen with a raven on it. I got it at the Cracker Barrel.
You just had a full ass stroke.
Oh my gosh. I am a poet, guys. I am.
Oh, and you know it.
This pen in my hand is a themed Edgar Allan Poe pen. It has the raven on it. Anyway.
Wow. Side quest.
Okay. Also, something I thought was super cute. Okay. I'm not like crushing on this weirdo, but kind of, you know. Okay. He would sign his letters with like different names, different nicknames, like for funsies. Like, of course, his friends, like they'd call him Eddie, but he used odd pseudonyms. He had one that he used a lot was like Henry Le Rene, like a French type of, I don't know. He had like his
If my
eccentric...
name was Edgar Allan Poe, you bitches better call me Poe. That
Right?
is so fucking cool. Like, I think of the little pink fat Teletubby, but still.
Poe.
Perfect.
Poe. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he liked his nicknames. He liked his puzzles. I don't know. Oh, he also... Okay, so, and this reminded me of myself because I have sticky notes and Post-its and index cards and ripped off pieces of paper. He would write on scraps of paper. Like, he didn't use large sheets or notebooks or, you know.
Right.
He would take little slips and little scraps of paper and just have them pile up. Just fragments of stories, just waiting to be, like, to put them all together, to put them all... It's like, it's so fucking cool to me. Like, just think of a few lines. That's awesome. I'm going to write it down and later I'll piece it all together. But that's how
That's crazy to me.
I don't do that with poems.
How
but
do you make it all rhyme then? Because most of it rhymes.
Yeah.
So, like, how do you just write something one day and 3 days later you add that to something you wrote 2 days ago and it rhymes?
Yeah.
He must just have, like, a rhythmic brain.
I bet a lot of people who write songs do that too, though. And then, like, they probably just change the words to, you know, match
sound
it.
better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I've done that before when I write. But I do it with more, you know, daily stuff. Like, oh, got to take the trash out. Oh, got a doctor's appointment. But I'll write on, like, I have so many Post-its and... It just reminded me of, like, I have notebooks too, but after my grandma passed away, we found lots of little things, like little notes and little things she had written. And I'm like, it makes me think, like, oh my God.
Maybe one day she was going to put them together and make a poem book for, like, just like Edgar Allan Poe. She was, like, thriving to be him.
Oh my gosh. But I like that. I thought that was cute. It's cute, guys. So creepy, but so cute.
Fire's getting to her head, I swear.
I know,
it's fine.
Right. He also had, this is cute too, okay? He had a cat named Katarina, but he wasn't just fond of cats. People thought he was, like, ridiculously obsessed with them, I guess. But his cat, Katarina, she would sit on his shoulder while he wrote. Like, she was his little bestie and, like, helped him, you know.
The fact that he named it Katarina, I feel like it had a better name than that. I don't know why. That's such, like, a little girl name. Like, I'm going to name my cat Katarina. I don't know. I don't feel like that's an Edgar Allan Poe's cat. That's not worthy of his cat's name.
I don't know. It's cute, though. But his cat stuff is mentioned a lot. Like, he must have really loved his freaking cat, man. But, yeah. He was, I don't know, he was a very...
interestingly unique human being who, honestly, I thought his life was more tortured.
Yeah.
Because usually people like this, don't get me wrong, his mom died, his foster mother died.
There's no sign of, like, abuse,
like,
or
literally,
torment,
like,
or...
tortured artist is what I always thought. But it's really
his loved
not.
Ones die, but
he had a pretty average life for the 1800s.
Honestly, I think he was just a drama queen.
Yeah, literally. Like if you would take Poe and put him in 2025, he'd be ate alive in 5 seconds.
Yeah, very
like,
neurotic, very... Yeah. All of his theme, the death, the love, all of the mixture... It was just like him constantly teetering on the line of, am I sane? Am I insane?
Literally.
Am I, you know, like, and just that blurred line of what's real and what's not, and is life worth it? Like, it's just, I don't know. I feel him because I'm a deep thinker too, but I don't have the emotion stuff that, you know, like the extreme reactions.
I agree.
And that's, you know, they'd mentioned, I've read bipolar, possibility, manic depression, but then also like borderline personality, because
we probably had
that's your extreme turbulent responses.
And I'm sure some doctor today has went back and diagnosed him, because that's what we do now. We diagnose everybody. So, you know, okay, so we're going to move on to his actual death. Okay. Yeah. His death is one of the greatest unsolved literary mysteries. Right.
Talk about like a deep, dark mystery. He literally left on a deep, dark mystery.
Literally.
No one knows.
It's like, okay, he died on October 7th, 1849 in Baltimore, Maryland. He was only 40. Yeah, 40 years old. 40 years old.
So, we're just a few years away from that. Like, that's crazy to think.
Fuck you. Quit cussing. You can't cuss on my podcast. I'm joking.
Fuck you, quit cussing.
Fuck.
But no, the fact that he was so young and like, oh my God.
Okay, so on September 27th, mind you, he died on October 7th. So September 27th, 1849, he left Richmond and he was headed to Philadelphia, supposedly to help edit a collection of poems from a St. Leon Loud. She typed him up a little letter and said, please come and help me. And he did these kind of things. Like you said, odd jobs all the time.
Like
so he was on his way to Philadelphia. He was in Richmond. He was on his way to Philadelphia, but he never showed up. Like, he just never showed up. So on October 3rd, so what? Like 5 days later, he was found in Baltimore, delirious, semi-conscious, and wearing somebody else's extremely shabby clothes. So
which
not
is
his
not
nice
like
fit,
him.
extremely crazy.
Someone else's clothes,
ripped
and they
up
weren't even
clothes. He was outside of a tavern. There was also a polling place. For back then, we went there to poll, to like vote and everything.
Yeah, I always read it was a park bench.
No, it was a tavern, right outside of a tavern on the ground. He was taken to Washington College Hospital.
Oh.
Okay. The doctor reported that he was incoherent, rambling, and calling out the name Reynolds constantly.
I do remember seeing that. Reynolds.
Yes. Absolutely no one, not a friend, a family member, anybody knew who Reynolds was. They tried to figure out who Reynolds was to try to help him. Could not figure it out. He drifted in and out of consciousness for 4 days. He could not drink water. Every time he took a sip of water, he got violently ill. He died at dawn exactly on October 7th. So as soon as the sun went down, dawn goes down, right? Yes. As soon as the sun went down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
dawn.
Dusk is light.
Oh my God.
Dawn is morning, dusk
so
is night, right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So as soon as the sun came up, are we okay?
Yeah.
I think our fire's got something in it that we don't know about.
Poe's taking over, the spirit of Poe.
His official cause of death was cerebral inflammation. So a swollen brain. Yeah. Literally. No autopsy was performed, so how they know that, I don't fucking know, because this is the 1800s. And he was buried the very next day. Literally, he died on the 7th. On the 8th, he was put in the fucking ground. Okay.
Probably not a lot of people to really mourn him.
Yeah. So here are our theories.
So many theories there are.
These are the most noted ones. Alcohol took over. We've noted a million times he was an alcoholic. So alcohol was the biggest theory. He was found outside of a tavern. Blah, blah, blah. Alcohol poisoning killed him. That's one of the biggest theories. An election fraud scheme.
Yeah, so there was a political thing they used to do where men would drug and just force the victims to vote multiple times. That makes sense if he was outside of a voting place. I never put the two and two together. I've heard that before.
Rabies.
I've read rabies before,
because back then we didn't know exactly what rabies did to a human. We didn't even know rabies was a fucking thing.
The fact that he couldn't drink water and was,
So modern doctors have studied his death, obviously, and some of them will die on the hill that it was rabies because he could not drink water without violently getting sick. That makes sense. Which, if you don't know, when you have rabies, you cannot consume water. It does something inside of your body. You cannot.
And that would explain his mental state.
Foul play, obviously. He got in a bar fight or something along those lines, those stupid lines. Or an illness. There's been several things noted. His health was not the greatest. Right. They think now that he could have possibly been diabetic. Yeah. They think now that he also had a brain tumor. Yeah. A very big brain tumor. Yeah. That's another really big thing. And the reason we think this, I'm going to say in a second. We're going to go back to the brain tumor. So don't forget it. So for over a century... How long is a century?
100 years?
Okay, it can't be 100 years. Not a century. A decade.
Okay,
10 years, right? Okay. Yeah. For about a decade, people actually believe that he died drunk in a gutter because of his rival, Griswold.
Oh, fucking Griswold.
Okay, Rufus Griswold. He actually, was thrilled that he died. He was one of his biggest writing rivals, literary rivals. He would put him down, and then Rufus would put Poe down. It was this big thing, throughout a big part of his adult life. Yeah. Yes. He painted him as a hopeless romantic who finally took his addictions to the end. Everyone believed it. And there was enough evidence to support it. Yeah. So many people had seen him drunk in taverns. So many people had read his crazy ass fucking stories. So they believed this for years and years and years and years and years. Yeah. So, okay, back in 1849, he was buried, like I said, the next day, right? Mm-hmm. His grave was unmarked. Nobody fucking cared about him. They didn't even, he had a very shabby wooden coffin. Okay. After he died, though, his reputation, like, after the whole 10 years of drunkenness, people started to actually, like, appreciate his poems. And think, damn, he was good. Let's look into his life. Let's figure all of this out. Like, it started growing in a good way instead of the negative way. So in 1875, Baltimore decided to honor him with a whole monument because, of course, we're making money off of his stuff now, so now we're going to monumentize him. Okay. His body was exhumed and reburied in a new spot in the same cemetery, but near the entrance. His
grave was unmarked and no one knew. How did they know where to dig him up?
I'm sure, like, they knew where it was. You know what I'm saying? So, the brain tumor thing. Okay. Workers who handled his body, they were official workers. It's not like it was Joe and George off the side of the street. Hey, come help me carry this dead coffin. They actually heard a solid object rattling around inside of his skull.
What?
When they were moving the body.
What?
So that is why they think it could have been a brain tumor.
I've never heard. That is crazy.
Isn't that insane?
I'd always heard possible brain tumor or seizure disorder because he was known to get really bad headaches, like migraines, and he'd have like blackouts, and he'd go into these trance-like states. So I'm like, okay, it could have been seizures. It could have been
So the little worker guy called over his boss, and he's like, "Hey, boss, I hear this." So it was more than one, or like 5 people heard this, and the superintendent of this cemetery was like, "It sounds like a little rock in there, like a pebble," or he said it sounded about the size of a pea, something along those lines. Like, I don't know what they would describe something. I don't know if they ate peas often. You know what I mean? But that is why they believed it could have possibly been that brain tumor. So. A lot of people, okay, this is the 1800s, but it'd be like, maybe we should investigate. Maybe we should, like, crack his skull open and see what's in there. But no, they just reburied him, and they did memorialize him. Like, he's got a statue. He's got all of that stuff now. He's got somewhere people can go if they want to, but they only did it because the reputation started to grow and all of that stuff. That is the mystery of his death. It is still, to this day, 155,000% a mystery. Nobody knows. We will never know. It's one of those eerie things in our lives.
And even after his death, there was... So I don't know if this happened at his original grave or after they moved him, but there was the Poe toaster mystery. It was like... They said for decades, so probably both. Decades, this woman, this mysterious figure, she would dress in all black, and she would visit his grave every January 19th to leave roses and toast a bottle of cognac. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
And... no one ever figured out who she was, it had to be one of the Sarahs, right? No, because they would have recognized her, because they all knew his relationships. So I don't know. Still to this day, they don't know the woman who for
if
decades.
Like she's dressed in black with like a veil situation, maybe not. Maybe it's just like those weird.
Yeah, it was on his birthday every year.
It was his mother's, or maybe it was a ghost, or maybe who the fuck knows at this point?
But he just left so many mysteries. Like I don't know, right. I know it was a long time ago and things weren't as easy to pinpoint back then, but. He is such a fascinating figure. Like, he is,
and a lot of people probably don't think so because he did not have a fascinating life.
And some people
honestly.
think he's over the top. Like,
he really was.
A lot of people who are into literature and things like that are like, oh, Edgar Allan Poe, here we go again. Yeah. I don't know. I can't help it. I've always loved him. And
we're not literature freaks, so I'm not saying freak's a bad thing. I'm saying like engraved into it. So like,
yeah, I love me some poetry. I love to read, but I'm not like obsessed with who's whatever.
His poems, like, I'm not gonna lie, reading them, I have to reread them a few times just to get the way they were full written, understanding of what he's trying to get across. Like, he's very hard.
Always totally coherent when he wrote it. It takes a little while.
It's never straightforward.
Yeah.
Like, he could be talking about the sea, but he's really talking about the death of his mother. And it's very hard. I know a lot of poets are like that.
Yeah.
But his are just very hard. Yeah. To decide exactly. But if you read it a few times, you really can get it. Just read it a few times. So actually, we're going to end all this on another poem.
Oh, yeah. I guess that's my turn now to read.
You go. Are you ready?
So this poem...
You've got the most beautiful voice.
Oh, good Lord. Thank you, but I don't know, man. So the poem I read earlier was known to be his shortest ever. It was actually written in 1829, I think, but they didn't publish it till after he was dead, like 1875 or something. So it was, obviously that was about his childhood and his feeling loneliness, whatever. This one I'm going to read here, this is a little different. We're going to part ways on a dream within a dream, okay? Ignore the birds behind me.
No, don't. Pretend like they're crows or ravens, okay?
Take this kiss upon the brow, and in parting from you now, thus much let me avow, you are not wrong, who deem that my days have been a dream, yet if hope has flown away in a night or in a day, in a vision or in none, is it there for the less gone? All that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. I stand amid the roar, or a surf-tormented shore, and I hold within my hand grains of the golden sand. How few, yet how they creep through my fingers to the deep, while I weep, while I weep. O God, can I not grasp them with a tighter clasp? O God, can I not save one from the pitiless wave? Is all that we see or seem but a dream within a dream?
And that's why he was a tormented writer, because
I feel that one, man.
Yeah, it's a good one. It really
dreams,
is.
Oh, man. Dreams are so weird, and life is so weird, and that's all, man. That's all.
Okay, so if you'd like to get a hold of us for any reason, you can do so at onlyifyoucankeepup@gmail.com.
Stay creepy.
Stay...
Good Lord.
The ducks are going. They wanted to say bye, too, okay? Bye.